The first debate, for some reason, is going to be in June this year. So we are just a couple days away from the debate. And a new Fox News poll came out showing Joe Biden leading President Trump by 2 points in the national poll. Now, polls go back and forth. I say this all the time. All polls are flawed. Some of them are useful. You got to take them with a grain of salt. Now, that's not a big deal. Him being up, Biden being up by two, and by big deal, I mean it's not something you would say that's way off or anything like that. The problem is the granular detail. So let's look at the granular detail that Fox News put out there, and for some reason still felt like this was a poll that was worth sharing with everyone. So here's the first thing, and you'll see here it's showing that Biden up 50 to 48 over Trump. Not a big deal there. Nothing crazy. Again, you see these numbers were 1 point in favor of Trump. It was actually 1 point in favor of Biden in October, 1 point in favor of Trump in May, and then now 2 points in favor of Biden in June. Not a big deal. No one should be like, okay, that's a flawed poll just based on those numbers. But then you look at this. There's three things that I'm going to point out. This is the first thing. Extremely important in 2024 for the vote. The number one thing is future of democracy. Anyone who watches news know that that is a left-wing talking point. That's the number one thing on people's mind is the future of democracy. It sounds like it's coming straight out of the anchors on MSNBC or CNN. So right off the gates, when I see, if I was the one conducting this poll, I'd say future of democracy number one above the economy, immigration, healthcare, all these other important issues. Like that seems a little flawed. And surprise, surprise, the future of democracy crowd, the Democrat, is leading in the poll. Then I go here and I look at these numbers and I say, okay, choice for president. Two things stand out to me. First is the rural voters. Rural voters in favor of Biden 50 to 48. Right there, I have to throw that out. Right, future of democracy is the number one thing on people's minds, and rural voters somehow are more in favor of Biden than Trump. That never happens. And then you could look down a little bit further and you see the urban voters is 38-38. That should be in favor of Biden by a significant margin. Maybe not as much in percentage wise as rural voters, but there's a larger percentage of the population in the urban that live in urban areas. This is just absolutely insane. Like those three things right off the bat, I'd just be like, I can't even use this poll. It's worthless. I can't believe that Fox News put it out. I see a lot of people bashing the poll because Biden's in front. Like, okay, that can happen in any one of these polls. But when you get into like the little more granular detail, this is a bogus poll. Like they should have fired their pollsters and they shouldn't put this out because those three things. Who are you polling to get those types of numbers? I don't know. I would throw it in the garbage if I were Fox News. Like I said earlier, all polls are wrong. Some of them are useful. This one is not one of the useful polls.